head coach, Eric Mangini. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning.
Nice to see you, Coach.
See you.
Felt almost guilty calling you Eric there for a second. I felt like you were getting in trouble. We are a mere 184 days away from the start of the 2018 NFL season.
Is that correct?
That is 100% correct. Check me.
Do you know the season starts on a Thursday night?
Check.
You got it. You got it. She got it.
I don't want to. Everything makes me nervous now.
Don't worry.
Hypothetically speaking,
night or Sunday?
We got a numbers guy.
You got it. She nailed it. She
Okay,
double-checked
those 184 days, give or take, apparently 4 days, barely enough time to get our mock drafts together. One quarterback bouncing around everyone's mock draft, former Oklahoma star Baker Mayfirld. You see what I did there? It's called a transition. Despite leading one of the most efficient offenses in college football history, people are still split about the demeanor on the field for him. According to Kimberly Jones of the NFL Network, one head coach described Baker Mayfield as, quote, over-the-top cocky. Coach, would Baker Mayfield's personality bother you as a head coach?
I would have to do a lot of research before bringing him in. There's a thing that we used to use, the Mae West rule, where if you have to tell people you're a lady, then you're not. And if you have to go around and talk about how good you are and all those things, now you start to worry, is it really confidence or is it truly masking some sort of insecurity? And in terms of people talking about, well, you know, a guy will mature. And my comment in the draft room was always, okay, tell me the 23-year-old that you give more money to, more time to, more fame to, that suddenly gets more mature. And you're trying to go back and look at his past and the things that he's done and see which way he's trending, because it's going to get old hearing, hey, I'm sorry I did this, hey, I'm sorry I did that. And in terms of his willingness to be coached, his willingness to get better, there's a lot of great players that are confident, that are coachable, that want to consistently improve. And what's the balance? What's the balance with him is what I'd have to find out.
Is there a guy in the NFL right now that has similar, I'd rather call it confidence than cockiness, that has been very successful?
Oh, I think
Like
you're talking about the quarterback position?
Yes.
I think there's a lot of guys.
Like Cam
I
Newton?
think there's, but not just Cam. I think Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady is that type of true confidence.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is a great example. I think most of these guys that are high level, especially at that position, but high level achievers in pro sports, have enormous confidence.
So what's the difference?
Well, the difference is grabbing his crotch and getting tackled by the cops and the planting the flag. Like, that's the difference. I mean, the difference is that, and again, I am not a guy that worries about this type of thing that much. I'm a talent guy, and CC has talked a lot about his teammates like him, his teammates follow him, he's a leader. Those things matter more to me. But we do hear this in the draft process all the time. Everything gets lumped into character issues, whether it's really about character or not.
I love the way you put the air quotes on character, like it doesn't mean anything.
No.
We talk about character.
Okay, well,
those things are important because the human being that comes into the locker room affects the other human beings.
Agreed, but the reason I put air quotes on it is I remember when Jameis Winston's coming out of college, and we lumped sexual assault allegations into the same bucket as character issues, that is planting the flag or not shaking a guy's hand. Like, that's...
Well, we don't have anything else to call it. So anytime we have it, and that's why I had a problem with the question about Josh Rosen yesterday. If we're going to say character issues, or Josh Rosen, Jameis Winston, Baker Mayfield, they're all three totally different.
That's why I put the quotes on it. Because
we're off the field.
Off the field.
Okay,
concerns, non-football concerns is what I would call it.
Okay.
My only concern with Baker, as far as if he is claiming or if people are like he is going to change, is the things that happened post the embarrassing arrest. Because he knew he was a Heisman Trophy frontrunner. He knew he was a potential first-round NFL draft pick, and he had his college screw-up. He had his, oh, God, listen, I ran from the cops and got arrested. I got tackled by the cops. If after that he still acts out the way he did, I believe that's who he's going to be as a pro. Now, I don't necessarily have a problem with him being that guy as a pro, but I don't think you're going to have some late career or I guess early pro career revelation when the moment where you got arrested embarrassingly didn't change those actions.
You know, I have a respect for the coach who says that he's too cocky for him, because coaches, they have a temperament. And every player can't play for every coach. I'm sure that Bill Belichick, the marriage that he formed with Tom Brady, it's evolved over years. But at the beginning. Was Tom Brady the type of quarterback that Bill Belichick wanted? No. I mean, it takes time to develop. I believe a lot of Baker Mayfield has to do with his story. And you see Tom Brady. Tom Brady's confident. But that confidence is into the team, within the team confined. It is not overzealous. It is not misappropriated. So when you see the kind of enthusiasm and cockiness are two totally different things. And we can't miss that he is a quarterback. He's not a wide receiver. If he was a wide receiver, we wouldn't care. He was a running back. We would not care. He wouldn't have character issues. He would just be one other confident guy in a room full of confident guys. But the thing is, we're getting ready to give this guy the power to be the face of the franchise, and his character becomes more important because he's scrutinized more. People are going to say things to him worse than what they said in the Big 12 once he gets into the league. So how does he handle those things? And for me, the attitude is developed from being a walk-on out of high school and having that chip on his shoulder. That, to me, is what he's trying to live up to. At some point, you have to realize, I'm already a star. How do I get better on and off the field? And those are the questions that Baker's going to have to answer going forward.
And confidence, to me, is knowing that you have shortcomings and believing you can overcome them. And arrogance, to me, is thinking that you don't have shortcomings. And you want someone who is confident, who believes in their ability, who believes that they can do the things that need to be done in an organization in order to be great. But if you get a player that's arrogant and doesn't feel like he needs to continually grow and develop, you look at a guy like Jerry Rice, one of the greatest players of all time. He was consistently worried about his job. He was consistently worried about whether or not someone was going to be able to come in and remove him from the roster, and that drove him all the time. Tom Brady is consistently driven to be better regardless of how much he's accomplished. Yeah, Baker Mayfield's had a really great college career. Okay, but things change when you get in the NFL, and you better come in with the confidence, but not arrogance. Otherwise, you're going to get a beat down.
I think it becomes hard to be coached when you're arrogant. And when you're, I just tell kids this all the time. Every day, as a talented person, you have to submit your talent to the coaching staff or the authority that's over you. And if you don't do that when you're arrogant, it becomes hard to get better every single day. It would be impossible for Tom Brady with Bill Belichick to splice up the tape when they have a game and to put Tom Brady on the beginning of that tape if Tom was not humble enough and submitting himself to the organization and the process. It really helps in coaching the rest of the players. But when you can't approach your star like that because he's fragile or because he doesn't think that he needs it, the trickle-down on effect, I believe, on the team is drastic because you can't go hard after guys. If you can't go hard after the quarterback, it becomes harder to go after the rest of the guys on the team.
But you don't have that concern with Baker because you like that he's a guy that's not coachable, correct?
These are the things you have to adjust. We have not seen them yet.
Okay. And typically with problems, they're a little bit like icebergs. You only see the tip of them, and there's usually a lot of other ones that never get out publicly. And I'm not saying this is the case with this kid, but the process is going through and figuring out, okay, is this just what we've heard is all that he has, or is there a whole nother layer? And when you're at bigger and bigger schools, those things tend to get
hidden.
Hidden.
There's going to be plenty of time.
Well.
He's the captain of a team. The guys aren't going to shake his hand. Right. That's like normal. I wouldn't be expecting the guy to shake my hand. So his expectation, what we expect from him on and off the field, they go up
and
high.
that's it. And when the off the field affects the on the field is when you really have the big problems. Coach, thank you so much.
Hey, you're welcome.
Appreciate it. Coming up, Xavier head coach Cris joins the program. Talk some college basketball next.
I got 1 year eligibility. I lost that last year. I'm going to see if the coach can bring me back home. Bring me back to nasty.